Did you know that prosecutors are pushing YNW Bortlen to testify against YNW Melly by filing paperwork to have them tried together for a specific reason?
Issue here and try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together, just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. We're seeking the penalty on one, not the other. But that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found.
It's common sense that if Bortlen is being charged with the deaths of Sack Chaser and Juvie when he knows he didn't do it, he'll start pointing the finger at Melly. His loyalty to Melly has been strong throughout the entire process, despite Melly's team trying to pin the crime on him in the first trial.
Those were his crimes. Courtroom Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car, two bodies, car, riddled with bullets. When he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he is a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having the phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in the pocket, not Bortlen Henry.
As his lawyer revealed, it was always Bortlen who lied to the feds, had gunpowder residue on his hands, and was the first person seen with Sack Chaser and Juvie after they passed. A forensic scientist confirmed the gunpowder findings on Bortlen's hands during the first trial.
So the right hand of Bortlen Henry contained two component particles, and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of residue and one two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was residue present on the hands.
Bortlen didn't take this well. When Melly's first trial ended in a mistrial, he tweeted a cryptic message the same day. The tweet read, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji, making it seem like he was accepting some sort of deal. However, this was just the beginning of Melly's recent troubles. Did you know his mom started trending after announcing that she launched a fan account while he stands trial? She was even featured in an interview where she explained why she created it and how much money she's made from it.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You saying that you're YNW's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet, though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This shocked the internet, with DJ Academics weighing in and sharing his thoughts.
YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's going to be starting her own. And I got to be honest with y'all, man. This is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, there are certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably can name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money. Like, no way in hell.
Academics believes it's not about the money, but social media disagreed. Melly's mom and brother have spoken about the money he's been spending, While his mom makes it seem like everything is fine, his brother has called out Melly's excessive spending habits.
I would assume that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that she's been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry? You're not here to wear the jewelry.
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend.
That's what I throw. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine. But it's just like, there's a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want to change no more.
In Melly's mother's defense, she's been through a lot with his trial and is likely using this as a distraction. There have been many moments when Melly himself had to check in and ask if she was okay. However, Melly's financial struggles are only getting worse with the return of his ex-girlfriend to the United States. It was announced that his ex, Mariah Hamilton, was released from Paul Rain Detention Facility on February 8th after Judge Fee ordered her release in an emergency hearing. This hearing marked the first time Melly and Mariah had seen each other in person since he surrendered in February 2019. When Melly walked into the courtroom and saw Mariah for the first time in 6 years, he had a huge smile, but tried to avoid too much eye contact. However, sources in the courtroom say he teared up. Despite their reunion, Mariah's return isn't good for him. After her release, Hamilton took to Facebook on February 9th to acknowledge her family and friends for their support during her detention. She wrote, "And to my village, thank you. To my village, I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." She also expressed frustration that the courtroom proceedings were broadcast on local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Now that Mariah has experienced jail, she has no desire to go back. The feds already know what happened to Sack Chaser and Juvie. All they need is for Mariah to confirm it in the retrial, and she has already agreed to do so as part of her deal for release. The feds exposed findings from her iCloud account, revealing suspicious activity related to Melly pressuring her not to testify. This is considered witness tampering, a charge that carries a life sentence regardless of whether Melly was responsible for Sack Chaser and Juvie's deaths.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
But with Mariah involved in the second trial, she could be the one to put Melly behind bars. People from her hometown revealed that she had a call with him on the night of the crime.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone. He was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
They like me, they're going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah's mom. They was using code words like Rihanna, and they said Rocky's baby mom.
But with the state pursuing a witness tampering charge against Melly, they've cut off his access to jail phones and mail. Jamie King has spoken out, calling it unfair since he hasn't been convicted of his charges.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
With his privileges revoked, it likely means they have evidence of tampering and are holding on to it for court. They can't risk Melly communicating with the outside world and influencing more people. However, That doesn't make things any easier for Jamie King, who expressed her heartbreak for Melly.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
With Melly's mother speaking out about the case, it sparked attention online. Charleston White also weighed in, stating that Melly deserves to be in jail.
The YNW Melly. I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play, think somebody.
Even Boozy spoke about the stress Melly's mother has been going through.
Okay, then I met his mama while he was in. Okay, I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
You stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. When I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
Melly's lawyers are doing everything they can to help him, telling the judge that no firearm was ever found in the case, hoping it could secure him a bond.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
They argued that GPS evidence shows Melly was running down the street when the crime happened and pointed to his text messages to his girlfriend as further proof, doing everything they can to secure him a bond.
The part of saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, and I'm hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Judy? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
With no luck securing a bond, Melly's situation keeps getting worse. In the 6 years he's been locked up, prosecutors have continued stacking evidence against him, including a clear motive for the crime. It was revealed that Melly was close to King Von before his arrest, and a former team member leaked that Melly had asked Von for advice on what to do about Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vern was mad at me, bro. Why you put that, bro? Go out the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, he was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
The YNW business was originally split equally between Melly, Bortlen, Sack Chaser, and Juvie. However, the main issue was that Melly and Bortlen did most of the work and brought in the majority of the revenue. Melly grew frustrated that he and Bortlen were putting in so much effort while Sack Chaser and Juvie contributed very little. Given King Von's background, you can imagine how he responded when Melly asked for advice. This creates a clear motive. Melly wanted the business split 50-50 with just Bortlen, doubling his income. When combined with reports that Melly bragged about the crime, it paints a damning picture for him.
Again, asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, that's the
But also found on Melly's phone was a Facebook Live video showing how he and Bortlen were feeling just hours after their best friends had passed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! The dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing not an ounce of sadness over the loss of their two best friends, the video raised even more suspicion. Prosecutors also investigated the Jeep they were driving, and Sergeant Williams confirmed that a drive-by would have been impossible.
How many rounds were inside?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the Christopher Thomas, where did that?
Driver's side back seat. My determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
With confirmation that the crime was committed by someone inside the car, Juvie's mother identified who was sitting in the back left seat.
Can you say your name before we move in here?
Leon.
And are you related to one of the in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's
With his mother.
and who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.